Hi, let's continue. So in last video, we started talking about while loop or while statement. Okay, so this is the solution I showed you guys. How to use while to print out numbers from 4, 3, then 2, then 1. Okay, so okay, next I'll ask you a question like, what happens? Okay, so you can see here we group the loop body within a block. So like the two statements are in the block. So what if the brackets, the braces are removed? Okay, the curly braces are removed. Will it give us completion error? If not, will the code give us print out the correct answers? Okay, let's go ahead, just look at the code. Okay, so in the original code, like here, the loop body is wrapped within curly braces as a block, right? So if we go ahead and run it, it'll just print a 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so let's see what happens if we remove the curly braces. Okay, so you see no errors, no completion errors. So let's go ahead, just run it. You can see like 4 is kept printed out. Okay, so it's actually the program will be running forever. You can see the moving of like actually the program is still running. So this is something called infinite loop. Okay, so like in the original code, so at the end of each iteration, each repetition, we decrease count by 1. Okay, till count is equal to 0, which makes this log expression to be false, to exit the while statement. So if we remove the curly braces, actually only this statement, okay, only which means actually the while loop contains just the loop body contains just one statement. That is the printing statement. Okay, so the variable count will never get updated. So the count will always be equal to 4. Okay, that's the reason why we have all the 4, kept printed out on the console. Okay, so actually this statement will never get executed. So make sure you remember this. My suggestion for beginners, if you're trying to create like while loop, make sure you always have the curly braces to wrap the loop body. Okay, no matter how many statements you have in the body, you always put the body within the curly braces. Okay, otherwise it's very easy to get the error of infinite loop. Okay, so that will cause your system keep like run. Okay, your system will never be stopped. So till you intervene. Okay, so like when the body is wrapped within the curly braces, it will give us the correct answer. Okay, so let's get back to the slide. So infinite loop. So this more about the counter control loops. So the example we saw actually it's one type of like a so-called counter controlled again. So the counter control loop usually has a like a loop control variable, as in our example here, count is the loop control variable. So actually the value of count will be used to control the desired number of iterations or the desired number of repetition, okay? Or desired number of times you would like to repeat an action. So usually it contains like an like initialization. So you need to give the loop control variable an initial value. Okay, so it also contains like the loop continuation condition represented as a logic expression. Okay, like so. So count is greater than 0. And another part that is very important is to update the value of the count control, the loop control variable. So like count minus, this will get executed in each iteration. So in each iteration, we have to update. We need to update like the value of the loop control variable, so that eventually the loop will be terminated. Okay, otherwise you're gonna get infinite loop. So that is an error, random error actually. Okay, so next I'm going to show you the steps to build a counter controlled loop. So using this example, let's say this time we would like to print out numbers starting from 1 to 10. Okay, numbers 1 to 10. Okay, let me move myself a little bit. Okay, so output numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, so here we declare an integer num as the loop control variable. We set it to 1. Okay, so like here we use a while loop. I use question marks. I'll just ask you to think about how to create the logic expression here. Okay, so within the loop body, we just print out the current value of num, and then we increment num by 1. Okay, think about it. So what would be the correct logic expression for printing numbers from 1 to 10? Okay, so usually when you try to determine like the logic expression, you need to ask yourself when to stop. Okay, when to stop. So here, since we want to print until 10, right, from 1 to 10, so when like num is greater than 10, we need to stop, right? We don't want to like keep printing like a number that is greater than 10. So if like num is greater than 10, we want to stop. We want the while statement to stop, right? Then we reverse it. Okay, so here the stop condition is num is greater than 10. Then we reverse it. Reverse it just the opposite. Okay, so the opposite for num is greater than 10 is num is less than or equal to 10. Okay, so you want to put num is less than or equal to 10 to this, to the as the logic expression. Okay, so here that's just, I just demonstrated the steps taken, to determine the correct logic expression. So particularly for beginners, it is kind of it takes some time for you to wrap your mind around it, okay, to completely understand it. So just by taking the steps, hopefully make your life easier. Okay, so let's do another example. Okay, so this time, what we want to do is to read in a number. So we ask the user to enter a number. Okay, so how many? Then we're gonna print out like a certain number of stars or asterisks. So then we first ask the user, how many stars do you want to print out? Then the user will enter a number. Then we're gonna print out that number of stars. Okay, like if num is 4, we're gonna print out 4 stars or asterisks just on one line. Okay, just in the same line. Let's go ahead. Just I'm gonna just show you how we can use like a while loop to solve this problem. Okay, in Eclipse. Okay, I have already created like some code here. So it's called while loop print numbers. Oh, by the way, all the sum of code are made available to you, so you can just make sure you can check out the code samples, and you can even just play with it. Okay, just run it. Okay, so that's okay. So that's this file is for print asterisk. So now you can see we declare an integer to hold the number the user is going to enter. Okay, so scanner input. Okay, nothing new, right? So we're gonna like print out some prompt message. Okay, some message to get the user. So how many asterisks do you want to print? Okay, so then we're gonna call like input dot next int to get like the user's input. So again, in this example, we just no matter how many what's the number like the user enters, we need print that number stars in on the console. Okay, so what we can do is here while followed by parenthesis, again followed by a pair of curly braces. Okay, so remember, so again, my suggestion is always put the loop body within the curly braces. So now here, let's try to figure out what would be the correct logic expression here for while. So let's see, if user enters like 1, okay, we need to print out just 1 star. Okay, so the basic operation or the basic action we need to perform is just system.out.print. Here we call print because we need to print out all the asterisks in one line. Okay, so if you use print line, okay, you just put all them in their separate lines. Okay, so that's not what we want. So we just print like a star one after another. Okay, that's the basic. That is the basic operation we would like to perform repeatedly, right? Okay, next, let's try to figure out the logic expression. So just now I mentioned when we are trying to create a while loop, we have to have a loop control variable. So a loop control variable will be used to specify actually the desired number of repetition or iterations. Okay, apparently we need to declare another variable as the loop control variable. Okay, we need to declare just declare count, and so apparently count will be used within the logic expression. Okay, so let's see, count is less than or equal to none. Okay, so you got a completion error. So why? Because count hasn't been initialized. You have to give count an initial value. So basically, what it means is as long as count is less than or equal to none, we're gonna print out another star here. So okay, in order to determine the correct value for the initial value for count, let's just use some special cases. Let's see, if we enter, the user enters 1, how many stars do we need to print out? Just 1, right? Okay, so this needs to be printed out once. Okay, so now if num is 1 and this needs to be just executed once, what should be the value of count? Count should be 1. Okay, 1 is less than or equal to num. Okay, so let's say if we the user enters twice, enters 2, so we need to print out this twice, right? We need to execute this statement twice. Okay, so if num is 2, count is initial value is 1. 1 is less than or equal to 2. That's correct. Then we need to update the loop control value. So yes, here we need to update count to increment it by 1. Okay, to increase count by 1. So here, now you can see this is the complete code. Okay, the counter controlled loop. So we need to have three parts. Okay, that's the key parts. The initialization for the loop control variable, and also the loop continuation condition as a logic expression, and an update for the loop control variable. Usually just a small step at a time. Okay, just increase it by 1 or decrease it by 1. Okay, so let's go ahead just to run it to see if it will give us the correct answer. Okay, how many asterisks do you want to print? Let's just enter 10. Okay, so it'll give us 10 stars. Okay, 10 stars. Okay, so I think that's all for this video lecture. We're gonna take a look at more examples in next video. Okay, see you.